Welcome everyone to this EUTOPIA SIF webinar dedicated to the information of future applicants to our first call for proposal. We would like to briefly explain you the webinar rules. We kindly ask you to follow so the coordination team will be able to answer hopefully all your questions. Then, after an overview of the EUTOPIA SIF program, we will detail the application procedure and have an hands-on session to get you more familiar with our platform. So, the rule of this webinar. The webinar will be recorded and made available on the EUTOPIA Alliance YouTube channel. Your camera and microphone will remain disabled. Please limit the use of the chat messages. We will use it only to send useful links by the coordination. Questions must be asked using the Q&A section, not in the meeting chat. The question will be moderated and will be dealt by the end of the webinar. Only participants who do not have Microsoft accounts may use the chat to ask questions as they do not have access to the Q&A session. So you may have the same question as other persons, so please pay attention to questions already asked by other participants and avoid to repeat the same request. So what is EUTOPIA SIF? As an introduction to this webinar, I would like to provide you with a brief overview of the key feature of EUTOPIA SIF program. SIF is an international postdoctoral program, and most important, this is a European Marie Curie action, meaning the fellows recruited are totally part of the Marie Curie Fellow Scheme and will be, after the fellowship, considered as Marie Curie alumni by the European Commission. The objective of the program is to offer outstanding opportunities for talented young researchers to develop their research skills, expand their career prospects, and explore new research horizons for tackling the main scientific and societal challenges of our time. The program is hosted by the EUTOPIA European University Alliance, but restricted to the 6 first universities of the original alliance. I will explain this part in a few seconds. The program is co-funded by the European Commission under the Marie Curie Co-Fund scheme and the 6 initial EUTOPIA University. So within the 66 months duration of the project, EUTOPIA SIF will recruit 76 fellows in order to constitute a pan-European cohort of promising young researchers. So let me briefly present you EUTOPIA Alliance and especially our 6 like-minded universities involved in the SIF program. We've got VUB in Brussels, Belgium, CY Paris-Cergy University in France, the University of Gothenburg in Sweden, the University of Slovenia of Ljubljana, in Slovenia, the University of Pompeu Fabra, Barcelona in Spain, and the University of Warwick in UK. Together, they were selected as one of the first European universities by the European Commission 5 years ago. The aim of the EUTOPIA Alliance is to create an integrated and connected academic community addressing global challenges and promoting inclusion and active contribution to the European economic development through research and innovation. We are now 10 partners university. 4 new members joined recently the Alliance: Babeș-Bolyai University in Romania, TU Dresden in Germany, Ca' Foscari University of Venice in Italy, and Nova University Lisbon in Portugal. But these 4 new partners are not involved in SIF program, as this is a specific project granted by the European Commission before their arrival in the Alliance. So this is why you will not be able to choose them as host or co-host for SIF application. The core objective of the EUTOPIA SIF program is to help young researchers to develop ambitious research projects. The program focuses on 5 key research areas that are central to understanding and shaping the future of our planet. A broad spectrum of disciplines are welcome, from fundamental to experimental sciences, including social sciences and humanities. You will be, of course, able to find a key research area related to your own research project. The program encourages interdisciplinary interaction and is open to researchers from all academic fields in connection with this research area. But you may choose at least one key research area. I will now briefly highlight the benefits EUTOPIA SIF can bring to you. The first point to emphasize is that this project is related to a very large and growing community with a location in all Europe. You will be offered a joint supervision with fellows hosted in one university and a mandatory secondment of 2 to 6 months in another one, always in the perimeter of the 6 University of SIF universities. We promote insectorality and mobility, and the fellows will be obliged to undertake an external secondment, preferably outside academy. We offer finally a very rich training program centered on transferable skills and interdisciplinary exchanges. We guess that if you are attending this webinar, you really want to join the Utopia Alliance as an EUTOPIA SIF Marie Curie postdoctoral fellow, and we will be very happy to welcome you if you are selected in September 2024. So let's now go in detail in the application and selection procedure of this last call of EUTOPIA SIF. We just remind you, the call is open from 14 September and will close on 14 December for the first step, allowing the applicants to refine only the research project until 11 January. So the application are welcome from recognized researchers, so PhD holder or equivalent of any nationality and from all disciplines. Candidates are expected to propose an ambitious research project to be carried out in one of the 6 partner universities for hosting the fellowship, and co-hosted by a second university, a different university, I must highlight that, it must be different, among the 6 partners for a secondment of 2 to 6 months. The candidates must indicate at least 1 and up to 3 pairs of host and co-host university in their application. Please consider that some universities are offering up to 4 positions, where others only have 1. This recommendation will allow you to have more chances of being recruited. And please be very attentive to the mobility rule. Researchers must not have resided or carried out their main activity, so work or study, in the country of the selected primary host university for more than 12 months in the 3 years prior to the call deadline. So you have to check not being in the country you are targeting from December 2020 to December 2023. Fellows will be offered a 24 months full-time contract at one EUTOPIA university. So you must, in September 2024, be able to sign a full-time contract. This is why, in certain cases, you may resign from a permanent position if a full leave is not permitted. So pay attention to the fact that the guide for applicants shows average gross salaries. You may ask for details to the local program managers to better understand how much your final salary will be and what taxes may be taken from the gross salary. Also ask for local rules for social security and family allowance in order not to have misunderstandings when you will arrive in your university. You will also be offered a supplementary budget for research and academic travel expenses, including the secondments. In addition to full academic freedom, you will benefit from state-of-the-art research infrastructure in all our universities, support career guidance, attractive living conditions within EUTOPIA local environments, and support for your mobilities. Your application must contain an ambitious research proposal, of course, using the template, your ethic declaration field. You must also choose at least 1 key research area and at least 1 host and 1 different co-host among the EUTOPIA SIF University. At least 1 support letter from the first choice of hosting group is mandatory. You must inform the online CV and upload the CV using the mandatory template. And you must upload your personal statement of maximum 2 pages, having requested 2 reference letters, and upload your PhD certificate or proof of 4 years of equivalent research experience using also the mandatory template. Finding a research group may be one of the main difficulties you will face. It is highly recommended to contact research groups engaged in the EUTOPIA SIF program, as well as the potential academic supervisor you are targeting before submitting the application. Be very careful. VUB is very special because there are only 11 research groups that are eligible for this call. So please have a look to the list of research group and contact the local program manager of VUB if you want to go to this university. The present call is expected to award 16 fellowship positions, 4 at CY, VUB and Warwick, 2 at Ljubljana, and 1 at UPF and Göteborg. You may directly contact the EUTOPIA Research Group using the research group list available on the EUTOPIA SIF website. And you may also use the online EUTOPIA partnering tool to identify potential supervisors for your project. But keep in mind that use of these tools do not guarantee that researcher will provide an answer, positive or at all. Contacting potential supervisor is an individual responsibility of the applicant, and the EUTOPIA SIF management team cannot provide support in this respect. The selection criteria will, of course, take into account the scientific and technical quality of your project and its excellence, feasibility, and suitability. It is also very important to present the expected impact and dissemination of your project, and finally, your experience and leadership quality, together with the added value of the fellowship of your career development. So this is the indicative timeline of our last call, from opening in September to the administrative deadline on 14 December, and the final cutoff and eligibility after 11 January, where all research project and letter of recommendation must be uploaded. So the other dates are indicative. We hope to release the eligibility check before the end of January, start the review round, and be able to select candidates for the shortlist for interviews for the beginning of April. So the final decision and notification of results will take place mid-May, and the fellows are expected to start their fellowship on 1st September 2024. So these are some information websites, the guide for applicants, and the contact point for coordination, of course, and for specific questions regarding one partner university, hosting and research group. Please contact the local program manager you can find in the guide for applicant at the end. So now I will leave the floor to Thibault in order to explain you how to manage your application on our portal.
Yes, thank you very much, Sylvie. So, do you see my screen? So I will now explain you how the application procedure works. First, it is a two-step submission. That means that you will have to complete the first step in order to go to the second step. The first step must be submitted before December 14th, 2023. To submit it, you must fill in the tasks as described here: personal information, past experiences. In the past experiences, you also have to upload your CV and personal statements. Then the part overview of your research proposal. Then upload your PhD certificate or the proof that you have 48 months of experience in research. The part hosting choices and support letters of your prospective host research groups or groups, but not the co-hosts. Make sure of this. And then beside the support letters, you will also have to fill in the request of reference letter. You just have to fill in the contact details of the person who will upload a reference letter, but I will come back on this in details in a few minutes. All of the uploads must be done in PDF format. The second step must be submitted before January 11th of 2024. For you, it only comprises the upload of your detailed research proposal. It is also the deadline for your recommenders to upload their reference letters. As you see, you cannot upload your research proposal before having completed step 1. Once submitted, you will not be able to modify the information you gave in the first step, and no application can be initiated after the 14th of December. Once you submit step 1, step 2 will automatically open, and you will be able to upload your research proposal even before the deadline of the first step, which is 14 December, and until the 11th of January. Now, let's review in detail how to submit your application and what difficulties you may encounter. To begin your application, you have to create an account on the application platform. First, go to the link of the platform that you can find on the website of EUTOPIA and of Euraccess, academic positions, and so on. Then, Go to register on the top right of your screen, as in red here, and fill in your name, last name, email, and create a password and solve the CAPTCHA, as it is done on the example on screen. When you will click on create an account, you will receive an email, and watch out for your spams in this. You will be able to click on the email to confirm your email address. The link will redirect you to the platform. Once you are back on the platform, go to View Programs, choose EUTOPIA SIF by clicking on More on the right case, and go to Apply. Note that these screenshots are extracted from previous year's calls. The deadlines are not the same this year, but you will be allowed to read all the actualized information while registering on your own. The platform is very well done. Your application journey will now really begin by accepting the GDPR. At each step, you will have the possibility to mark as complete, as is the green button, which allows you to continue the application. Or you also can save and continue editing to continue later with the gray button, which allows you to come back at another moment to fill in your application or to complete it. Afterhand, you will be able to review what you have selected at each task of the application, and even to edit them by clicking on the 3 dots on the top right. For the case of the GDPR, if you don't agree, you cannot submit your application. Next is the task about personal information. Fill in each case, they all are mandatory. When clicking Mark as complete, you will automatically review your answers. Then the next part is about the pre-application, but these are closed. They only served to help finding a host and a supervisor. You can still use the partnering tool and the research group listing to find a host and a supervisor. So fill in your academic and professional experience part. And note that if you currently hold a permanent position, some EUTOPIA partner universities may ask you to resign from it, others may accept a leave. To know about this, you should contact the local program managers of your prospective university. You can find their contacts at the end of the guide for applicants. To complete the experience part, you have to provide a list of your 5 most relevant outputs, not the abstract, only the reference of the outputs. Then upload your CV using the template provided and downloadable from the platform. Finally, upload your personal statement for which no template is required. All the uploads must be done in PDF format. At the end, as usual, mark as complete. To fill in your research proposal, make sure to choose at least one key research area, 2 if relevant. If only one, you can just click on the non-applicable, NA at the bottom of the second list. A combination of 2 disciplines then is mandatory. You have to precise for each one the detailed discipline too. By clicking next, you will continue in the research proposal task, which is divided into 3 parts. If you want to go back, you also can click on Previous at the gray button on the bottom. It will allow you to modify some things from your previous tasks. The second part of the research proposal is about the host and co-host combination. You have to select one, and you can select up to 3 combinations. Make sure to select different universities as host and co-host each time, or you will be ineligible. For each combination, you will have to select the right host research group in the list. It will be not a research group, but a faculty in the case of Ljubljana, the University of Ljubljana, and you will have to indicate the prospective supervisor. If you have several combinations, you must select different hosts each time. You are free regarding the co-host choices. Then, once again, click on Next and indicate 4 experts who could evaluate your application. Make sure that the experts do not belong to one of the 6 EUTOPIA SIF partner universities and do not have a conflict of interest with you, if they are co-workers or relatives. The experts were the third and last part of the research proposal overview in step 1, so mark it as complete and you will go to the next task. The next task is uploading your PhD certificate. You must upload it in PDF format. Alternative, if you don't have a PhD certificate, you can also upload a provisional certificate, which is a certificate on headed paper from the academic institution, confirming that all the requirements related to the PhD program in the home institution are fulfilled at the date of the call deadline, 14 December 2023. Or you can also upload a proof of 48 months of full-time equivalent research experience. For this, you must use the template linked. The count of 48 months begins after the obtention of a degree entitling you to embark on a PhD. In general, this is a Master 2. For example, if you have completed a Master 2 in research and you begin another one in research, the count will begin at the obtention of the diploma of the first one. Another warning point for the research experience proof is the taught classes. They must not be counted in the research month. That means 4 years of PhD do not account for 48 months in the of research, as you have attended some classes during it. It also means, in the case of a research master, that only the time spent doing research in research labs counts. Overall, you understand that meeting the requirements without the PhD is complicated. As always, think to mark as complete, and then go to the next task about the support letters. The support letters are documents of support signed by your host research lab. Depending on how many combinations you have asked in the task research proposal, you will have from 1 to 3 letters to upload. You must not upload support letters by the co-host research labs. And there is no template for the support letters. It is up to the host research group to indicate its endorsement of the project. And as you can see, depending on the host research groups, the letters must be signed by a different person, depending on the university. It is up to you to ask the research group for a support letter and then to upload it on the platform. The support letters are different from the letters of reference. The support letter indicates a research group endorsement when the reference letters assess the candidate's quality. The reference letter tasks only consist in filling the contact information, and message parts of the referees of your choice to ask for their assessment. Once sent, it is up to them to write the letter and upload it on the platform. They will have more delay than the end of the first step to upload the reference letter. Before December 14th, you have to send them the invitation to upload, and then you have to make sure that they have uploaded their letters before their deadline, which is January 11th. Contrary to the previous experts that you had to nominate who shouldn't have any conflict of interest with you, the referees must be people who know you personally and professionally. You have to ask 2 reference letters to 2 referees. You can modify whom you ask them to by withdrawing and then suppressing a request in this page by clicking on the 3 dots. The reference letters were the last task for step 1. You have to use the checklist here to make sure that you don't forget anything to fill in or to upload. If it is good for you, mark it as complete. You will then have this information and the submit button on the left will become green, allowing you to complete step 1. We advise you to review your application by clicking on the button before submission to make sure that you have not misclicked anywhere. Note that once submitted, step 1 cannot be modified anymore. The submission must be done before December 14th. The submission of step 1 will allow you to begin step 2. To access step 2, click on Go to My Application. Then click Start to begin step 2. You will have 11 January 2024 to fill it. You will access this menu. As you see, the submitted tasks of step 1 cannot be modified anymore, but a task has opened for step 2. To fill it in, you have to download the detailed research proposal template. You may have previously downloaded it because the link is also in the guide for applicants. Fill it in. It may take time, so you are advised to prepare the proposal with your research group. then upload it in PDF format and mark the task as complete. Completing this task will allow you to submit the step 2, review and click again on submit, and this will be the end of your application. Next deadlines will be when you will get our answers regarding your eligibility in January, and hopefully your invitation to the interview panels in April after a peer reviewing step. You have to do your final submission of step 2 before 11th January 2024. Make sure not to submit at the last moment. For both steps, many things can happen from technical to personal problems, so anticipate at least in the previous days. And now we can answer if you have any questions. So for your questions, write them in the Q&A part. If you don't see the Q&A part, you can use the chat. But if you have a Teams account, you should use the Q&A part, please. Maybe I don't know if there already are some questions.
Yes, there is already a question about the 11 research group of VUB. So you may go to, you may use the link we provided in the chat, and the link that is also present in on the website. And then you arrive on the web page with all the different key research area. Then you have to develop each key research area, and then you will see that the first university appearing in each key research area is VUB, and you have the links to each of the 11 research group, but you have to go through all the research, the key research area. This is why there is no complete list only for VUB. You have to go through this complete list.
Yes, then I see Denard Veshi question about the templates. For all the templates actually can be found on the application platform. When you are in front of the question, you have a little link to download, to click and to download it. The templates can also be found in the guide for applicants, which can be found in the website.
Concerning the fact that professors and researchers don't answer you, we cannot oblige them. And of course, there are many research groups in each of our 6 universities, but we cannot promise that a research group can welcome you because of many reasons. So we are very sorry. We can just encourage you to go through the matchmaking tool, because in that case the researchers are really willing to find some postdocs. But in this tool, the researchers are opening their doors to SIF and also to Marie Curie individual fellowships. So we cannot know at this moment if they already find someone. So of course, if they are already supporting one person, they may not want to support a second or a third person and have at the end someone who will not be welcome in their lab. So this is the only answer we can do. And of course, we hope that you will find some, you will have some answers from researcher you are contacting.
I see a question on if at any moment you can be hosted by a not a Utopian university. Yes, you can. There is an external secondment that is possible beside the more added to the internal secondment. The external secondment is preferably done in industrial partner, which is not a university, but it is also accepted to do it in another university outside from Utopia. And its duration is from 2 weeks to 2 months.
So again, in any case, we cannot, at coordination team, we cannot help you because it would be unfair regarding the other. You cannot help you to find, we cannot intervene, we cannot oblige anyone. So it's not possible to ask the coordination team to intervene in any case in between you and your potential supervisor. It's not possible. We already answered about the experts.
Yes, I answered about the experts, but I will explain it once again. So the reference letter, it is a letter from one of your previous supervisor who will assess your quality as a researcher. And the experts, they are people of your field that are well known in your field, but whom you have not worked with, and whom we could contact to evaluate your application.
But it's not mandatory to fill this. So there is a question regarding the main content of the proposal. There is a list, there is a checklist. So I don't know how to explain it more. If there is any specific question, please contact directly the EUTOPIA SIF team with the email we are providing in this webinar and also on the website.
I see a question about is it possible to select only one host institute, and is it mandatory to select a co-host? Yes, yes, it is mandatory to select a co-host. You must have combinations of host and co-hosts. As MSCA fellows, it is required for you to spend time in secondment and not only in your host university.
Of course, we will not answer questions that are not really in line with our principles. And yes, we are really open to everyone. And we are already in our 3 cohorts welcoming people from all over the world. And this is a very great opportunity for everyone to meet and exchange within the cohorts. So please don't think we are not welcoming everyone and making all our efforts to welcome everyone and to smooth the administrative parts, especially, for example, here Francesca is every day struggling in order to smooth the arrival of our researcher from all over the world. So please.
About the possibility to delay the beginning of from a few months in January from September 2024 and on. No, it will not be possible. You will have to begin in September 2024 because of you will have to only the end. The only possibility is between the beginning and the end of September 2024 for beginning the fellowship.
Concerning the candidates, we give there is a table indicating how many fellows will be recruited in each university. So this is it's indicative, but we may not change something to this number. And no, you don't have as candidate undergo a research and mobility program to have more chances. This will not be taken into account in any case. Really, the major point is to be able to try to build something with your future host university and co-host, but the host is really the main target for you at this moment. And anyway, you may decide, for example, for your external secondment, or even change when you start your fellowship. You can change your co-host if there are good reasons. This is not this will not be a problem, but you need to contact and to have good contacts and try to build with your future supervisor your proposal. Of course, we have many ongoing fellows that were never in contact with their host research group before their application, and they were chosen and selected because of the high quality of their project.
So, can a co-host supervisor be a supervisor that you have previously worked with? Yes, you can. But then you will be assessed on how these fellowships fit in your career plan. So you have to defend it very well. So the evaluators understand how it is really logic to go there.
If you are currently a Marie Curie fellowship, or even if you are in any kind of fellowship, you can of course apply. You must just keep in mind that we want you to start, if you are selected, on 1st September. So, for example, if your fellowship ends in August, this is completely possible, so no problems with that.
Does the external secondment applies for later after the project starts? The external secondment can be modified after. The choice of where you go can be modified after you have begun your fellowship. But it should be explained and defended from the application. Yes, it should be indicated in the research proposal, detailed research proposal.
So this is just about, like in any case in a research project, you find things, you change direction, and of course every kind of decision of changes you may want to do will be discussed and approved if it's something that is good for your research project, of course.
Okay. Since the acceptance letter is not needed for the co-hosts, how can you make sure that it will really receive you? The co-hosts, so first you have to contact them still to make sure that your research proposal fits with them. And then we have not had problems about this since the research groups work together within EUTOPIA. They always receive the fellows who asked them.
Concerning the third partner, yeah, you can imagine whatever kind of third partner for your external secondment. You just have to keep in mind that this may fit into your budget. So there is a basic budget given by the fellowship, but then if you want more, this is a discussion between you and your research group that can put more money on it. So be very careful and don't have too many expensive request and project if it's not possible after that. So yes, and after that, if you want to have your external secondment in a museum or whatever, this is of course possible and will be discussed with your supervisors.
Regarding the structuring of the fellowship, yes, it is. The timings of the secondments are flexible. They are possible. You can go there. So from 2 to 6 months in internal secondments, and from 2 weeks to 2 months in external secondments. And you can organize them whenever you want during your 2 years fellowship. In some cases, the secondments can also be divided into several periods during the fellowship. So you can go several times in secondment.
Concerning your PhD examiner or supervisor or every person who have worked with you on a research field, you can ask them, of course, for a recommendation letter for but you cannot put their name as expert because they will have a conflict of interest with you. So yes for the recommendation letter, no for the expert list.
I see a question about an external secondment in Swiss. Yes, it is eligible. It's up to you to. We have a list of partners that who you can where you can go, but you can also go organize things where you have some contacts.
And regarding the number of positions in each university, the number is fixed, but there is no targeted research area. We will definitely discuss at the end on the list of the best research proposal. This is really the main point of our selection. We will try to recruit the best research proposal, and sometimes and every time it's a good surprise to see how much your the research proposal are different, and all universities are very happy to welcome very new and enthusiastic proposals. So there is no pre-defined research area in each university.
Can you ask a recommendation from your PhD examiner? Yes, it is the goal of the recommendation letter, of the reference letter.
Okay, I guess that we have answered all the questions. If there are any kind of question you want to ask again, please use the Q&A or the chat. As concerning the budget justification in your research proposal, if you can already have an idea of the cost of your research proposal, yes, you need to discuss it with your supervisor. We know that, for example, in some cases, you need to use specific material, research infrastructure. So this is something that needs to be discussed with your supervisor, your future supervisor, in order to see if this will be given to you. Of course, in general, it's possible because the research group are equipped. But yes, you may try to focus perhaps on the fact that you have 4,700 euros given by the fellowship for your research activities. In addition, you can ask the research group to help you, or you can apply to other fundings, local or national fundings, with the help of your research group. And this is with this total funding, you may try to start to see what kind of expenses you are able to make for your research and for your secondments.
About the question on which geographic area you can focus on, it can be wherever in the world. The key research areas, the 5 key research areas that you can find in the guide for applicants, can be applied to any context. Then of course you have to fit with the research group where you that you ask for.
Yes, and as an example, in the future third cohort of EUTOPIA SIF, there is a very good research project that is focusing on the health problem in an African country. So this is a very good example that the key research area is health. This is something that is interesting, one of the host research group, and yes, there is a great focus on the country, on a specific country in Africa. So as far as the research project is very interesting, and you can obviously explain the relation and the use of the research group and the collaboration between the research group and the country, or the key research area specific of a country or region. There is no issue regarding your application.
The question of deadline. So as we said it multiple times, it is the first step must be submitted on the 14th of December of 2023. And the second step, which comprises the detailed research proposal, must be submitted on the 11th of January 2024, so about one month later. You can submit both steps before the deadlines, of course, but after the deadlines, it will not be possible, and you cannot begin an application after the 14th of December.
Okay, concerning the two questions, how do you choose an expert who do not be a competitor? Yes, we need to ask the person to, and each expert is signing a form in order to assure that there is no competition. So of course this is self-assessment. We are not able to be sure of that. And concerning the second question, are you able to hold other affiliation external lab? I'm not sure to understand the question. If the question is, can I work with other research group outside of the European Alliance, I guess that this is possible if there is specific combination between your target research group and something else, but in general I cannot answer the question. This is really very specific, and yes, you may be able to work with another research group at the other side of the world, because your host research group is already doing something with them. I hope this is the good answer to your question.
I see a question on the research proposal main content, so I will show you again the parts of it. So it is right there. Okay, so you have to choose an acronym for your proposal. You have to choose a title, an abstract of 250 words maximum, and 6 keywords. And then you have to choose one or two key research areas within which it can fit, and two disciplines, main and detailed disciplines, 2 times, where it can fit to. Then you have to choose your host and co-host combination. So between 1 and 3, you can only choose. You cannot put 2 times the same host if you choose several combinations. And you have to select also the prospective host research group and academic supervisor. and to make sure that you comply with the mobility rule, which is not having spent more than 12 months in the country of your choice, of your first choice, during the last 3 years. So, between December 2020 and December 2023. And last, the experts.
Concerning the previous and current cohort, you can have a look at the fellows presentation at the bottom of this page. So the page, the first page of presenting all our initiatives, you can find a presentation of each of our fellows. So you may see the diversity of the subject and the fellows. So if there is any kind of sampling that has to be done in another country, of course, it can be done. It has been done, and in certain cases, you may just, of course, take care of the ethical declaration, because in some cases you need to declare it and to deal with the ethic committee, the local ethic committee. So yes, of course, this is completely possible.
So to indicate the experts, you have to indicate their, as shown, you have to indicate their first name, last name, university, email, and a web page where we can see their quality, what is their specialty.
So to express the interdisciplinarity, yes, you may have different hosts and co-hosts to express it, but there are many other kind of ways to express the interdisciplinarities. In some cases, we have fellows that decided to bring their own expertise in another kind of research group. So they change completely the kind of research group and bring their own expertise. And the fact that they are coming into this research group is a proof of interdisciplinary per se. So there are many different ways to express that. And co-host and host in different disciplines is one of them, but not compulsory, of course.
About the help with the visa process, yes, if you are selected, you will, if you are offered a fellowship, you will be supported to get a visa. Then it may take time. We are not above the laws. But yes, we help. We make sure that our fellows, the fellows that we have selected, get a visa, so they can come to work in their host university.
And specifically, we try to have the selected fellows informed as soon as possible, and then the local program manager are immediately in contact with them in order to smooth and to anticipate all the visa problems, because we are already every year we are facing this kind of problems, but we every time we succeed in fixing that. But yeah, this is one of the main points. But this is tackled in all our university, and this is our first concern, of course.
So I saw a question. I don't know why, about whether experts get an indemnity, and yes, they do.
But this is not really a concern of the applicant. It's our
yes.
concern, and it's something that is not really relevant here, I guess.
And yeah, the applicants cannot be experts in the program.
No, because you are in a conflict of interest, a huge one, of course. Must the research end with the commercial value? No. But you may express, of course, even in your application, what kind of impact you want to have, because every kind of research may have an impact, depending on the fact that you are more fundamental or more applicated, of course, but there will be an impact. If it's an impact, research impact, of course, this is very welcome.
Does this call consider diversity? Yes, yes, of course, especially if, first it is about research excellence, and then if two candidates are at the same level of research excellence, the diversity of the profiles will be considered in the fellowship offers.
Okay, and is there any consequences if the project fails to deliver as planned? Yes, of course, you cannot plan everything, but you are, when you know, for example, in the case you are explaining about this big problem in Palestine or everywhere else in the world, or every kind of problem you may face, this can be part of your research proposal, because you have to manage risk and explain that in case this is not possible, because it's obvious that you need to prepare a B plan, of course, you can explain it. And even if the B plan is not possible, you may then discuss, and the discussion and the modification when it's relevant, of course, we are always very open to any kind of changes during the fellowship.
Yes, I don't see any more questions, whether in the chat or in the Q&A now. So I guess you can, if you have any other question, ask them now. Otherwise, we will end the webinar soon. You can, if you have other questions, you can contact us at EUTOPIA SIF at cyu.fr. The email, the contact can be found on the website and on the job posts. So yeah, you can contact us, and we will try to answer as soon as possible, because we are managing the call at the same time. But we are very happy to answer to your questions.
And be very careful again when it's you have questions regarding the local thing, finding a local supervisor, questions about the salary, the local financial and questions. You may first ask the local program manager indicated at the end of the guide for applicant, because we cannot know about specific national rules. So this is really something that must be requested to the local program manager.
Yes, I'll answer to the two last questions before closing the webinar. So the recording will be available on YouTube, on the YouTube page of EUTOPIA. And you cannot do research project of only 1 year. It's the fellowship is for 2 years, so you have to spend the 2 years to use the 2 years of the fellowship.
And of course, we don't have a list of discipline, because the list of discipline can be very diverse. But there is nothing, no research area will be rejected, of course. We cannot put anything because it's too long, but yes, it's obviously open to any kind of discipline. And of course, you must find a research group that is able to welcome you. Of course, this is the only constraint, but any kind of discipline is welcome.
Yes. So thank you all for your presence and for your questions.
Perhaps last answer about the person who applied to a Marie Curie individual fellowship. Yes, of course, we face every year multiple application. Of course, this is fair enough from your side. You are trying to find the best place for your research and for your career. we only ask you if you are selected, we only ask you to decide as soon as possible if you are coming to EUTOPIA SIF or if you are choosing, for example, the other position offer at Marie Curie individual fellowship or any other kind of postdoctoral fellowship. So we may use as soon as possible the reserve list we always have and give the chance to another candidate. So this is really to be fair with the other. You can apply, of course, we can see you that you are applying in diverse calls, but this is only at the end for everyone, for all the coordination team and your peers. Please make your decision at the end.
Okay, so thank you all for your presence. We wish you luck for your application, and we hope to see many of you in the future cohort. And once again, I want to remind you to anticipate before submitting, to make sure not to have prepared all your application in advance and to have a problem at the last moment to submit it. Thank you very much. Goodbye and
Bye.
have a good day.